We're back here at the Amelia on Sunday, as we called it earlier, showtime. The big day has arrived. I'm Bill Rothermel, my co-host Justin Bell, legendary race car
Bill,
driver
be
and
quiet.
Le Mans winner. I mean, and as I said yesterday, what am I? I'm just here.
You know everything.
It's great to have you here. We have had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, but we're now in the fun zone, I think, because out of all the vehicles here, what VW have put together right here with the vans is capturing the imagination of everybody. Whatever your generation, I think these have got something special.
And I think that's really about something special. We were talking as we were standing here, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but we were interrupted by one person after another after another. One of the great things about being here at the Amelia is reconnecting with people and meeting new people and all the connections that you make and how much fun you have doing that. We met Christian this morning, and Christian was involved in helping to put this class of VW transporters together. We don't call them that, but they're VW Type 2s now, is the correct description for the car, the Beetle being the Type 1, this is the Type 2. What that's also maybe, I guess I should say, a bit of an Amelia tradition, having quirky classes. To have a bunch of unusual things that you just would not expect to see. And did you have a lot of fun putting this together? I'm sure you did.
Absolutely, we have done. So as you correctly mentioned, it's Type 2, the first generation T1, and we have collected a lot of variety of the bus because the bus has to tell a story about all classes.
And we're going to walk along here, and you're just going to maybe give us a sentence or two
this
about
one's
each
crazy.
car.
This one I saw driving along, and I posted the video on Instagram, and everyone's like, wow!
And with
it's
a half track.
Yeah, it's a half track. So it's set up in 68, so base model is 62, 4 axles, 12 wheels, and it can go everywhere.
And the guy who did it was a skier, and that was for skiing in the Austrian Alps, am I correct?
Yeah, you're totally correct. It's about going everywhere in the Alps to go to chalets, wherever you want to go, but it's stayed as a one-off, unfortunately.
And our next vehicle is a hospital vehicle, and if I'm correct, it's all original, it's unrestored.
Yeah, it is totally original. It's from the late 60s, it's 67, and it's completely with every detail, and hopefully nobody has to need a ride in it.
A good point well made.
Or be lifted up by it.
Yeah,
Look at the next one.
This fascinated me because when I was reading the write-up on this car, the crane assembly is like 1,000 pounds. And you have a horsepower of what, 25 horsepower, maybe 28 horsepower, and it's got to pull this thing around.
Yeah, you're absolutely true. And this is for the people who want to push their own career. So you got your own career ladder with you. This is original one from Germany, and it fits. So if you want to have, you can walk up.
Awesome. Very cool. The next one is, Justin, you know,
it looks
like
the
psychedelic van
It looks
era,
like
which we're
that was a little more utilitarian, and now you can tell the hippies got hold of this one.
Yeah, I think no words needed for this bus. It's the light. The bus from Woodstock, originally repainted after the mention of Dr. Bob. It's a one-off, and we are really happy to have this vehicle here because it's well known in the world for the icon of Woodstock.
Oh, can I ask you a question, a technical question? You know, 21 window, 11 window. That's become part of the value, the provenance of the buses. Where did the concept of having so many windows instead of just larger panels, where did that come from?
I'm not really sure, but technically it was easier and cheaper to make small windows and flat windows. So if you have a look on the next generation, it's a shaped window, the bay window, but it was technically in the 50s not possible to have these shaped windows.
Okay.
And I think it is fair to say the more windows, the more valuable the bus, typically.
Yeah.
Now, this is obviously something from Germany, so tell us a little bit about this.
Telefunken.
It is based from Germany, but it's now here in the US. It's a very, very early panel van. So it's from 51. It's really rare, and in this mint condition, absolutely unique.
First production was in 50, am I correct? Yeah. And VW was in a situation where their European distributor, I guess Austrian distributor, came up with the idea for this, and he said, let's build this, and VW didn't have production capacity. So they had to wait.
There are several rumors about set up these things.
Well, I'm all about rumors, so go ahead.
So the main thing is, it was all about to have a roomy vehicle. So because the demand to transport goods have been increased, and that was the reason why they set up a bus.
Well
Makes
said.
sense.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that we find a lot here, whether it's cars from music videos, cars that rock stars owned, cars that movie stars owned, race cars that we saw Tom Cruise drive yesterday.
Yeah.
We also have the movie industry, which keeps connecting with the car world the whole way. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, this started. I remember it. As soon as I walked up, I'm like, oh my God, that was one of the movies
I think I was probably in my 30s.
Oh, shush.
I've never seen it, unfortunately.
Oh.
But you're right, that's the car from the movie.
Yeah.
And for all of us who grew up in the era, shag carpeting.
Shag carpeting.
Something we hope that does not come back.
And that's not where the shagging ended. That's all I can say, Bill.
And this is crazy. This vehicle, this is actually was done as a giveaway, is my understanding, from a credit card company that had a Jerry Garcia credit card, and they decided to have a bus to promote the bus.
And I think it's the best idea. It's the best thing you can do to use the bus for advertising and so on, because everybody loves the bus and nobody is jealous about it.
And it's a giant billboard in all reality.
And actually that was the thing in the 50s. So you can buy your panel bus flat and they give you advice how you can paint it to make advertising for your company.
Next one's a really cool example because here we have not a bus, but set up as a pickup. And this had these kind of cool fold-down sides on it to access the bed.
Yeah, it's a truck, you would call it here in the US. Single cab, so it means seats to 3, have a long bed in behind, so you can use it for everything. And remind, that was in the 50s. So everybody needs these kind of trucks to transport the goods.
Bill, I love this next one. Obviously, 1951 goes back a bit, but if you get the chance to look in the back seat there, that is making sure the kids are taken care of and entertained.
Right.
They have a mini seat and steering wheel.
Which today would, of course, never be allowed. I kind of remember one of those maybe when I was a kid. Somebody had one.
It's a long time since Bill Rothermel shoved himself in a car seat in the back.
Bill Rothermel couldn't get one leg in that seat.
I actually think you can see some of the design of this when we looked at that Lincoln over there, and you can see that same boldness of paint and design wasn't just a 50s thing. 30 years earlier, they were doing the same.
And that brings an interesting subject up. I love the colors of this.
Yeah.
And the color of the red is called sealing wax red. I mean, they obviously must have seen, like, sealing a letter or something, and they came up with the name of the color.
It's sometimes interesting how they came to the color names of the color, because not everything is obviously, but this one is really obviously. And these two-tone color combined with the chrome stripes, it's absolutely icon.
And
It's
now,
incredible.
And now, of course, we have these beautiful buses, and you've brought back the VW bus with the ID Buzz, which I know we have behind us over there. How are you finding that story? It's the end of the story. You know, it started here, and it's a whole new generation of people can fall in love with the VW bus.
It is, and they do. Actually, they do. So if you travel with these ones and you hop off into the ID bus, you get the same feelings. You're sitting high, you have the best overview you can get, and you feel like a bus. And it's accepted in the family. So if you're talking to these guys who are traveling also the ID bus, they say it's one part of the family.
I'm really excited. I've got more chance of getting, I think, in the new one than one of these because the values have popped through the roof.
That's interesting. And we've got one final bus we just want to give everybody a look at. And this is a camp mobile of some sort. And, you know, many of us have seen the factory conversions, and this is one of those examples.
It's absolutely. So my personal credo is a car without a bed is broken, so I love these camping cars. Yeah. You have everything inside for your road trip. So you have 2 beds, you have a kitchen, you have a sink, you have a fridge, you have everything on the road trip.
And this was novel thinking at the time because of the pop-up roof, because it actually gave you a compact vehicle, yet you could stand up in it. It was much like the bump outs that we have in these billion-dollar motorhomes that we have today, except it went up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gives you the opportunity to sleep 4. So there's a bunk bed inside.
That's fantastic. You know what I'm thinking
you need
about
that
this?
for your next
I'm
road
thinking,
trip.
While you close the show, I'm going to go and make a cup of tea in my new little van. It reminds me of my Airstream. I love it.
Oh, Christian, thank you so much. It's great to have you here, and great to put this interesting and kind of quirky and cool class together. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Don't miss this class here at the Amelia today.